Hey friends, I have a new book that I want to share with you because it is perfect for what you've been learning this week. It is another Cat in the Hat learning library book, and it's all about the weather. Now, I've heard from some of you, and you've read about lots of different kinds of weather, and it sounds like the tornadoes have been most exciting. So if you've read about the tornadoes and you've learned something new, share it with me. I can't wait to hear. Or if you've read about a different kind of weather and you want to share that too, I would love to hear about what you've read and what you've learned. All right, so the book today is Oh Say, Can You Say, What's the Weather Today? And it's all about weather, written by Tish Rabe. And as you can see, we've got our old friend. Oh, say, can you say what's the weather today? I'm Cat in the Hat, and it's raining, I know, but let's not stay inside. We've got places to go. Where the sunshine is shining, where warm winds are blowing, where lightning is flashing, where snowflakes are snowing. The weather is changing. Come on, let's get going. Sounds like a few days ago when it rained and rained and rained some more. First stop is the top of Mount Karacuckoo, where they study the weather. That's really all that they do. Watching the weather helps everyone know what to wear, where to live, and what food they can grow. Pilots check weather when they fly a plane. Are they flying in sunshine or clouds filled with rain? Corn grows where it's hot. Rice grows where it's wet. Farmers grow what grows best, and the weather they've got. Meteorologists forecast the weather and say what kind of weather is heading our way. They send weather balloons floating high in the air to measure how hot or how cold it is there. Air temperature affects weather a lot. Thermometers show if it's cold or it's hot. Wind changes weather, and we can see why. It blows clouds along and clears rain from the sky. Anemometers measure how fast the wind goes. A wind vane will show you which way the wind blows. So if you see, they've got a weather balloon, and that tests the temperature. Down here, it sees how fast the wind is blowing and then what direction the wind is blowing, because the wind can change. On this map of the weather, you'll see it's showing sunny in Gret, but in Grugel it's snowing. A strong wind is blowing the snow right towards Gret. Tomorrow the weather in Gret will be wet. Symbols on weather maps show right away what kind of weather we're having today. So next time your family turns on the news to watch the weather, I want you to look and I want you to see if you see something like this. It says snow, and then there's a sun, and that sun is a symbol to say it's going to be sunny and warm. Weather forecasts are important to us. Will we need a jacket to wait for the bus? When clouds form a ring and it circles the moon, sailors know this ring means there's a storm coming soon. A pine cone can forecast the weather. Here's why. It's closed when it's wet and open when it's dry. Did you know that? Here is a fact that we cannot explain. Frogs croak a lot more when it's going to rain. So you can listen to the frogs to see the weather, or check out pine cones you may find outside. There are all kinds of clouds you can see in the sky. Cirrus are light, wispy clouds floating by. Cumulonimbus clouds mean there's a storm on the way. You see cumulus clouds on a warm, sunny day. When a cloud touches down on the ground, it's called fog. If it mixes with smoke, then the fog becomes smog. A fun way to learn a cloud's shape is to draw it. We said, that's a cirrus, the minute we saw it. Thing 1 and thing 2 were drawing some clouds, kind of like we did in class when we learned about our clouds. If you look inside any cloud, you would see water droplets that bounce all around happily. If the droplets get close, they will soon join together, get heavy, and fall. Then we're in for wet weather. They fall to the ground, then the sun's energy turns them to water vapor, which we cannot see. Water vapor floats up, forms a new cloud, and then rain falls from the cloud to the ground again. The water cycle. We talked about that in class. Here are some words that we learned on vacation. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail are all called precipitation. Water's changing to vapor is called evaporation. Water changing to water is called condensation. Can you say those words? Precipitation, evaporation, condensation. We've got pictures to show. Who invented umbrellas? Well, we don't know who, but umbrellas were first made in China. It's true. Out of colorful paper and wood called bamboo. Thousands of years ago, they were first made, so out in the sun, folks could walk in the shade. When it rained, they put wax on the paper. Here's why. Rain rolled off the wax, which kept folks nice and dry. So the first umbrellas weren't made for rain. They were made for sun to keep people in the shade. Neat. When air's warmer than freezing, I'd like to explain water falls from the cloud and it falls down on rain. When air's freezing cold, it's important to know water falls from the clouds, but it falls down as snow. If you magnify snowflakes the way that we are, you will see that each one is a six-pointed star. They're made up of crystals, and each one you find is like no other snowflake. It is one of a kind. The desert is dry, and the reason is clear. Its rainfall is less than 10 inches a year. Here's a word, and we both like to rhyme it. The weather a place has, the most is its climate. How do you keep cool when you live in a land that is hot, dry, and dusty, and covered in sand? Loose-fitting clothes let breezes blow through, and light colors bounce the sun's rays off for you. So the climate of the desert is the weather that it has most. So it's hot and it's dry. Where on earth is it coldest? Meteorologists say Antarctica is freezing cold every day. Land covered in ice and deep drifting snow. The air is so cold that plants cannot grow. How thick is the ice here? This made us think quick. We are standing on ice 7,000 feet thick. We used a thermometer and now we know in the air it's colder than deep in the snow. Look. So they're in Antarctica with the penguins that we learned about. And they're on thick ice, 7,000 feet thick. In a tropical jungle, it's hot and it's wet. If you go there to visit, you'll soon start to sweat. The weather is humid, which makes you feel icky. The air is full of water, and that's why you feel sticky. Air conditioners help you feel better. Here's why. Cold air holds less water, so you feel cool and dry. Remember when we talked about humidity? If it's humid, it's hot and sticky. In a thunderstorm, first you will see lightning flash. Next, you'll hear thunder go rumble and crash. To find out how far thunderstorms are from you, try this easy trick. It's a fun thing to do. Start counting when you see a lightning bolt flash. Stop counting when you hear the next thunder crash. Take that number, divide it by 5. When you do, that's the number of miles that the storm is from you. Lightning's electric. One flash is so strong, it could light every light in your house all year long. Did you just make a connection between lightning and electricity, and Benjamin Franklin and when he attached the key to the kite? Look at that connection. Thunder won't hurt you, but lightning could. So here are a few things we would like you to know. Lightning strikes what's tallest, so take it from me. In a thunderstorm, never stand next to a tree. If you're out in a field and you have no place to go, get as small as you can, then scrunch way down low. Stay inside your car. If there's lightning around, it flows over your car and down into the ground. says here are some things that you need to know. If strong winds are blowing with hard driving rain, you may be in the middle of a hurricane. Winds blow in a circle both night and day, knocking lots of things down that get in their way. Here's a hurricane fact. There can be lots of hurricanes at the same time, so each one gets a name. Andrew, Agnes, or Dora, Lenny, Diana, Mitch, Bertha, or Flora. They each get a name, so there's never a doubt which hurricane that people are talking about. You see on this map, it shows 2 different hurricanes, and they label it with their name, so you know exactly what hurricane they're talking about. Hurricanes blow things down, but I learned from thing 2, tornadoes blow harder than hurricanes do. A tornado picks up everything it goes by, like a huge vacuum cleaner way up in the sky. It spins like a top, twirling around and around, pulling trees, cars, and houses right off the ground. Once in a tornado, a chicken was tossed. She landed safely, but her feathers were lost. What do we have here? Do we get tornadoes where we live, or do we get hurricanes where we live? If you said tornadoes, you were right. It's important to study the weather. It's true, but we cannot control it, whatever we do. The sun may be shining, the sky a bright blue, then suddenly rain will start falling on you. Or the sky may be filled with dark storm clouds, and then the sun will break through and shine down once again. You see, weather keeps changing, but one thing we know, it makes life exciting wherever you go. So, all different types of weather. We learned about climate, the water cycle, all different things. So don't forget to send me a message, comment below this video, or post on your portfolio about one type of weather you've learned about this week and something you found interesting. I hope you enjoyed our adventure, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye, guys.